Hello, friends. I almost said, hello, Steve, friends here. Yeah, there's a reason for all the things that we each may be noticing going on in our world. And so I'm going to do a bit to explain that to you here. So I write these posts as a means of giving you my perspective from time to time. And I tend to follow a gentleman named Stefan Burns on YouTube, as he is educated in relationship to what he refers to as he's a geophysicist. So he tends to follow solar flares, things that are going on in the sun. He describes them in detail. He also talks about volcanoes and kind of has studied the history of them, where they occur, when's the last time different volcanoes erupted, what height was the spew of the volcano, and the earthquakes and the earthquake plates. So these plates that are moving along that are causing these shifts in the land masses. It's all really fascinating to me, so I tend to pay some attention to Stefan Burns. Stefan Burns also sometimes plays a singing bowl at the end of his talk as a means of soothing anyone who maybe gets overstimulated by it. So he has been speaking of plasma and how it affects us. And I'm familiar with the term plasma, but I decided to look it up and tell you what, yeah, let's face it, I went to Wikipedia, which I think sometimes is accurate in the things that they say. So I just had a wet cat jump on my lap, and I'm sure her little paws are damp, and I'm glad that I'm wearing my funky pants, that you can't see them, and that I don't care if she gets kitty paw prints on them. So Stefan Burns has been speaking about plasma and how it can affect us. And so here's what I took from the brief looking into the term plasma and what it means in relationship to science. So plasma is a state of matter. So it exists as matter that results from one of the other three states, which I'm not really sure what exactly that means. Results from one of the other three states. So matter, there's maybe earth, water, matter, I don't know, the other three states. So I don't know that, and maybe you'll write something in the comment if you do know what they're talking about of the other three states. But the other three, plasma is a state of matter that results from one of the other three states having undergone an appreciable degree of ionization. So that's probably another word I'm going to have to look up, or you can tell me what it means. But ionizing, I think, has to do with an increase of oxygen particles within an environment based on like lightning, and I think rain is ionizing. But again, I can see that there's a lot of words I need to look up, and may do it later, may do another video. But for this one, I'll just stick with this. So plasma thus consists of a significant portion of charged particles. I don't even know what that means either, although I passed courses and I got degrees. But really, I never did any research on charged particles. I probably have felt them. But they say plasma, while rarely encountered on Earth, and there may be a reason for that, it's estimated that 99% of all ordinary matter in the universe is plasma. And I think probably scientists estimated this, but while rarely encountered on Earth, the rest of the universe is plasma. Stars, I don't know how they figure this stuff out, but I just think it's interesting. Stars are almost pure balls of plasma. And I think, our sun is somewhat of a star, but plasma dominates the rarefied intracluster medium. Like here on Earth, we can say, well, the medium between us is air. And maybe we can all understand that, even if we're not scientists. But the medium in the galaxy is plasma. And plasma can be artificially generated, for example, by heating a neutral gas or subjecting it to a strong electromagnetic field, which, again, I'm realizing more and more how not a scientist I am. I won't even go into the image that came into my mind, but I'm going to talk around it for a moment. So, as teenagers, we used to experiment with heating neutral gases. And some of you might get what I'm talking about. And if you don't, it's better that you don't. So continuing on in this neutral gases, the presence of charged particles makes plasma electrically conductive. With the dynamics of individual particles and macroscopic plasma motion governed by collective electromagnetic fields and very sensitive to externally applied fields. I have no idea what that sentence means, but I plan to understand all of these sentences at some point, or I hope to understand them. So the response of plasma, which is 99.9% of all matter, I mean, between the stars and what we think of as the sky, the intergalactic substance is plasma. And of all the universe, apparently the Earth is the one place where it doesn't much exist. The response of plasma to electromagnetic fields is used in many modern devices and technologies, such as plasma televisions or plasma etching. So, again, really, I'm reading things that I don't understand, but if you understand them, I'd love for you to explain them to me in the comments section. Now, surrounding our body is an electromagnetic field. Plasma, which large amounts of plasma have been shot from our sun directly at our Earth. So our Earth is being filled with plasma. And plasma, according to Stefan Burns, plasma affects our electromagnetic field and can tend to cause disorientation, which is the point of all these words, most of which I didn't understand, that I've written and spoken to you about. And basically, it could be a very short video where I say we're in a plasma storm, and if you're really disoriented, that's just the way it is. But I'm going to keep going because I have a few more things that I can say about this, even if I don't understand it. This increase in plasma has been affecting the Earth over the past 3 or 4 days due to a series of large solar flares for the past few weeks. And then I said what I write for the rocket science version. Go ask Stefan, or go watch his videos and see if you can understand it. The only science I somewhat understand is the body and its energetic system, which some might refer to as a pseudoscience, such as chiropractic, acupuncture, Reiki, Qigong, healing touch, therapeutic touch, etc., etc. All these energy modalities, I have some working knowledge of them and how they feel, and I can work with them and help people experience changes in their energy fields. But to explain it, maybe not so much. I understand energy through experience of working with the energy fields. I understand the pseudoscience term because many of the energetics that are worked with could only be measured recently with superior instruments that'll get finer and finer gradations of energetics. But what all these words are meant to convey is if you are feeling very wonky, which is a pseudoscience term, it might be due to plasma, a science term. If you feel disoriented, tired, out of it, confused, it may be because you are entering realms and amounts of plasma that you may not have encountered in your lifetime. I'm going to throw it in. The Schumann resonance measures the ionosphere, and it relates to various changes in that field around the Earth due to changes in electromagnetic frequencies. Both plasma and variations in the Schumann resonance or field affect how we feel. And then I wrote at the end, I might make a video and ad lib, and if you read this post that I wrote and then listen to the video, you'll understand I did ad lib quite a bit. I've been actually looking at my post and using my post as a guideline to help me to understand how little I know about what I'm talking about. But I think it's fascinating and is probably going to be a source of study for me today so I can better understand why I am feeling so out of it, so wonky. This is the third day in a row, and it may be just kind of hypnotic suggestions from Stefan Burns about why I'm so wonky. And it may just be plasma, and it may be just the electrical frequencies rising around the Earth, which I think it is. But I have been working with, and these are again pseudoscience terms, but I experience them, so I feel like I can talk about them. The term grounding to the Earth through my chakras in the bottoms of my feet. And sometimes if you feel like you're ungrounded, it's probably because your ankle and foot are locked up holding anchor. The more you can release the stored anger in your body, the more your energetic field can flow, the more your chakras, you have them in your hands too, but I'm saying this is a foot right now, and if you believe that, I'll tell you a bunch of other stuff where to send me money. In your hands and in your feet, right in the center, in the arch of the feet, you have this chakra, and as your energy flows more, typically it goes out the right foot and comes in the left. When I work with energy, that's the way I feel it. It's not theory to me, it's experience to me. If you find your energy flows out the left foot and flows in your right foot, you're just a wonder. You're one of a small percent of people whose energy flows that way, but it's fine as long as it's working for you. Otherwise, you can reverse it. I have reversed it, so it's flowing out my left and in my right, and it's disorienting. But it might be the right way to go. I don't know. I'm just going to look at the time. 15 minutes. I'm going to finish this up. So, as you open your energetic system to the earth, and you state out loud, I ground myself to the healing center of the earth, your grounding rods, your energy rods go down into the earth, all the way to the center of the earth, and they connect through an energy root system to the earth. It's all your imagination, but once you imagine it and you feel it, you know it's more than just your imagination. And then once you connect into that healing center of the earth, you'll typically begin feeling energy flowing out your right foot, energy flowing into your left foot, and going into the area just below your belly button, which is your dantian, which is your body battery. And I've discovered one that's just about 1.5 inches above the belly button, which is the body battery that stores energy coming in as light through the crown chakra, which is this one. So energy, and it got really light when I did that. That was trippy. But energy that's coming in through the crown chakra into the body, and I'm going to have it happen right now as I describe it, and then into the body, through the heart, into the upper dantian, the lower dantian, into the root, through the legs, through the calves, through the feet, and then you're delivering that energy into the earth from the sun or the cosmos. And you're also delivering that energy from the earth into the cosmos, because according to the Mayan prophet Paco Votan, we as human beings are cosmic vibrational root systems. And if you're watching this video and you stayed here for 16 minutes and got through all that data pseudoscience jargon and semi-science jargon and things that I don't understand, so how can I transmit the information to you? But you may already know it, and you can help me to understand it, but I will eventually understand this. I want to know more about plasma because we're getting hit. We're getting hit with it. It's my understanding. And I'm an electromagnetic being. I am a cosmic vibratory root system bringing energy into the earth from the cosmos to change the consciousness of humanity around the globe and help everyone to recognize that we're all part of one cosmos, and just because 99.9% of the cosmos is connected by plasma and the earth isn't, might indicate why we can be such crazy, messed up mofos on this planet and not recognize the sanctity of all life here. That's just a disconnection. And I don't believe in God. So if you believe in God, I have no problem with that. Whatever God you believe in, that's just fine. But for me, if this God term, which I was lowered Catholic, and some people say they were raised Catholic, but I was never raised Catholic. I was always lowered Catholic. I always felt like this makes no sense to me. Still doesn't. But the concept that some male god, it's always a male god, or almost always a male god, created this reality we live in, and knew everything that was going to happen makes me not trust that God at all. Because if that God sent his son on earth to pay for the sins of God's creation, why didn't God just come himself? Was he chicken? That's my question. And I'm not afraid to say, was he chicken? Because I disconnect from that matrix of that God that tells certain religions they need to kill other people in different religions. And they have a divine right to do that because God told them so. I don't want to have anything to do with that God ever. But there is oneness. And I want everything to do with that oneness. And this plasma coming onto the earth, I feel changed by it. I feel I'm getting more oriented through speaking about it, but I've been so disoriented for 3 days. I've had so many emotions just pouring up, and I've been doing so many healing sessions with the world and with individuals on the world, and they've all been so intense. And it's kind of, I'm coming back, but I've been a little bit out of it since yesterday, where I was doing sessions for a minimum of 8 hours. It's so unusual. I mean, yes, I work on the world healing field 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But sessions are different. Like I can do the world field and I can be weeding the garden and I can be bagging groceries at the Good Cheer food bank and I can be doing all sorts of things and just continually grounding, walking through the woods, continually grounding the disturbance of the world. I've been doing it for 6.5 years. I got that down. But working with a world filled with plasma, it's affecting me as much as it's affecting you, and I'm not finding it easier. And I've spent my entire life getting to understand energy and how to work with it. I mean, I had a traumatic gestation. It was traumatic in the womb. My birth out of the womb was traumatic. Feet first, chin caught on the pubic bone. It was painful. It was life-threatening. I got through that. There were events in my early infancy that were traumatic, and then my life was traumatic. Well, why would I choose that life? Because I feel like I did. Why would I choose that life? Because the more trauma that you've made it through, the greater healer you become. The more compassion that you have for what people are going through, and the more desire you have to help them through the process of living on this planet during a time of extreme change. All right, bless you. I love you, and just keep working with it.